Welcome back in, everyone, to EA Sports coverage of the NFL. It's Raven football, and we rejoin the action in quarter number 3. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th.
Set, 3-19.
Play action. It's Jackson. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
There was the pressure you were talking about, forcing the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up to throw to Barkley on the check down. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90.
Back to throw again. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option. Run or pass, they pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out trying to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A nice gain of 21 yards. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely, great start. Two nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now Jackson, and he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun, Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. Kareem Martin in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a third and long.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. To throw is Jackson. Crabtree with it over the middle. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Now let's go.
Here we go. It's Jackson on fourth down. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Leopard!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to look deep down the field. And just shedding him. That's caught at the 25. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. And even 40 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up. After this. A first down carry for Barkley. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up second and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard!
That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
finally a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They pass up the three, fake it, it doesn't work.
I remember being taught that cliches have become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? What's that they used to tell us about letting sleeping dogs lie? Well, this one wasn't sleeping, maybe it was just slumbering a little bit. But taking that gamble there, you've got the lead. You may have ignited them.
And it's a fumble. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
It's a big play there for Baltimore. 43 yards. Jackson from the shotgun. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On second down, Jackson. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though.
Say my name.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Say Alvaro.
And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Giants on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Gun! 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 Gun!
They're going to look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back.
Say Yukado.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
Well, I like the chutzpah there, right? They decided to go ahead and fake it and try and pick up a first down. But how about how they executed defensively and smothered that one? I know back from my time frame, everyone has responsibilities, even rushing on a field goal attempt. You've got the tight end, you've got the wing back, you might have the guy in the backfield. Well, they executed that well. Really stuck to what they needed to do.
It wasn't just 11 guys trying to block it. They were ready. They got it done. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Toto.
He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And down he'll go at the 25. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And the stop comes with just 12 seconds left to go. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
He'll look to throw.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So they had to take the shot there. Obviously, that was pretty much it, their last chance.
No other play for them, right? I mean, there's no other choice. It's not like you can have some strategy move, right? Punt it away and hope to... No, that's what they had to do. Right now, that offensive unit, they're pretty discouraged on the sidelines. They're going to feel like they let the team down in that situation, but they were in a tough spot to begin with.
And with no timeouts now, they just need a miracle.
Yeah, an absolute miracle. If the team that has the ball, just find a way to run out the clock, take care of the ball, and go home a winner.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with this one.
So for the Giants, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90.
They'll set up a throw to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into it.
And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, second and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
He dumps it off to Barkley, and he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 2 yards on that play, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities, but that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
That first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 42. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll drop the throw. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's the mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, and it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, it's Bell. Bell sheds him off. It's a big run that time by Bell. 41 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 10 carries, 60 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Devin McCourty brings him down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's a give to Barkley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Going for it all. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, it totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Way beyond Bell. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes
Russ
backwards.
Gotta keep that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Now Wilson. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe tough. And the ball is knocked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now we've got a giant player here slow to get up after that last play. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Gone! 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 Gone!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking for Ty Montgomery that time. And that'll make it 3rd down. With the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week, he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Now back to throw. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Eluding the pressure right. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I think this one comes under the heading of sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because you and I both know coaches go crazy seeing their quarterbacks roll out, in this case to the right side, and try and throw it back into the middle of the field. He got away with one there.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Ty Montgomery with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Rosas good with the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. Caught here by Bell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. The grab made by Curse over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. To throw again is Wilson. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Wilson now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. A screen to Bell. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The give is to Bell. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that one will be
Automatic
accepted.
first down.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. The toss play to Montgomery. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Open man right side is Ingram. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to throw now on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And it's second down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking for Shepard deep, and that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. Looking for Shepard deep. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our halftime report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll kick things off with an NFC East battle between two old foes, Philadelphia and Washington. And it's the Eagles who are out in front. Carson Wentz, responsible for the lone touchdown in the game thus far as he's thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head out west to the Golden State. Check on the Rams at home in L.A. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. Brandon Cooks, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Lamar Jackson, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at about the 32. From the shotgun, Wilson. Complete out right to Kurz. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A give to Bell. Broken tackle. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now Wilson on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now it's Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
Looking for Baldwin. Intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Shepard. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Green 39! Green 39! Gone!
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he gets it down to the 32. First target, first catch, and a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And the Seahawks have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, Wilson. And this is caught by Curse. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now a play fake here on first down. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills, and that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills, but they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender. Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Peterson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Trying to lay one up, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Well, that second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Going to throw deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Now they'll run it again with Penny. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. And the Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
17 yards on the pickup there and also a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Ken Crowley. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Are you making the play, Alpha?
They'll look to throw. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
Yay, I am 150.
The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Just keep running the ball, kick the game-winning field goal.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Again, this is Montgomery. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Gallman will run it. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So a big one coming now for Aldrich Rosas. This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick is indeed good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year. But he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a kick.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And who's got it? The Giants. And that's how this one ends. In dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Giants, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 7.
Won 6-0. I did that with the Jets in my 4th year and won the Super Bowl. I am about to end this stream, but I will be streaming the playoffs later. Okay, keep up the good work. I will share this. Okay, good luck. Wait before leave sim to playoffs to let us see the schedules. Okay. Okay, thanks. Look forward to stream later. Okay.